Hello, everybody. So, I'm here to talk about my identity because a lot of people, mainly on the internet, are saying this and that. And some people, for example, they say, like, oh, you are Asian. And then some people say, you want to be Asian. And then some people say, what else do they say? They're like, oh, you're not indigenous and all this stuff. So, or like, oh, you're mixed and so on. So, I'm just going to clarify that I personally believe that I'm all three. Indigenous, mixed, and Asian. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with indigenous. So my family, like I come from a indigenous family or what they call pure indigenous. Um, so my dad's like almost 100% indigenous. His parents were indigenous. Um, they spoke their own language, which was Nahuatl, and they're Nahuatl people. So we have that. So I am Nawa. Like I identify with a group, indigenous group. We have our own language. We have our own customs, our own traditions. So I am indigenous. I am not a pure indigenous. I maybe I might have joked about it, but I'm not pure indigenous. My dad is. So, but I'm still considered indigenous. So yep, that answers that question. I hope I answered it clearly. I hope you guys understand that I am indigenous, just not pure indigenous. Um, and for the mixed part, so if y'all don't know, my mom is mixed. My mom is mixed. Her parents are mixed, and I'm pretty sure her parents were mixed. So, um, yeah, like my mom is not biracial. Her parents are not biracial. Her parents are mixed. My mom is mixed. They're not any type of like this or that. So they're mixed, not biracial. Um, it's not. There's no term for that. I don't think so. So I just consider it mixed, like because she's mixed with like this and that. So she's not like half and half. She's just mixed. So I consider myself to be mixed too, um, because I'm not like pure indigenous and she's mixed. So um, there we go. Like I hope that answers that question. That I consider myself mixed because my mom is mixed, her parents are mixed, and I'm pretty sure her parents were mixed too. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. And for the Asian part, like in like in the U.S., there is more than one box. So if there's indigenous, I'm gonna put indigenous. But if they have like Asian, European, or African, I don't know the right terms, but if they have those three terms, which are the original terms, then yeah, I'm gonna put Asian. But um, because we have so many terms, I could put indigenous as my own term. Um, like I get it. We come from Asia. Like we look Asian. Like a lot of the times I get confused for Filipino or like Indian, like from India, um, and just a couple, but a couple other races. But the main one I've been confused for is Indian from India and Filipino from the Philippines. So I do understand that we come from Asia, but we have um, our own category. So I consider myself that category. But and a lot of people don't see indigenous people as Asian. So I mean, that's why I don't really say Asian because a lot of people to this day like don't identify as Asian or don't say anything like consider us as Asian because um, technology is advancing. So now we know more things and so on. So maybe in the future, we'll be considered Asian, but right now, we don't like a lot of time we don't consider ourselves as Asian. Nobody, I don't think any indigenous person puts Asian as a race. Um, yeah, like I've never seen an indigenous person put Asian as a race, but we do come from Asia. I know that, um, and that's why we look like East Asian, or that's why I get confused a lot for like a Filipino or like Indian from India or et cetera from other races because we're alike. We're very close alike. So yeah, I hope that answers your questions, or I mean, your concerns, or whatever. Um, what else? Um, but at the end of the day, I just consider myself other, unknown. I never put like, I never put when it comes to like categories. I never identify as white. I never identify as indigenous. I always identify as other. Um, or sometimes I just identify as indigenous and then I just put Nawa. Um, but for the most part, I just identify it as other. I don't put race for me, just because I was never taught about race. So I learned about my race because of like um, DNA test and all that, and like visiting family. But other than that, like I was never talked about race. So um, to me, it's not important. So I mean, it's important for health, because they say this or that affects your health based on your race. So you never know. That's why I took a DNA test. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.